Hey, what's going on? It's Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube. Alabama held its first scrimmage of the spring season, and I'll just get right to it. Ty Simpson was absolutely on fire from what we gather, and so was Isaiah Horton. We've talked earlier about what Isaiah Horton brings. He's a transfer from Miami. Let's dive into it. This is what we heard. You can go out, you can read your sites, you can talk to people who are, kind of in the know, but this is what we gathered. So Ty Simpson today had a wonderful day. Threw a few touchdown passes. I don't know the number for sure, but I do know that they went to Isaiah Horton. Isaiah Horton is that guy. And I think when you look to Alabama's wide receiving unit, you have Isaiah Horton, Ryan Williams, and Journey Bernard. Think about this. Last year at this time, you didn't have the offensive coordinator of Ryan Grubb. I think that Ryan Grubb has already implemented an early, fast-paced attack. Remember, what was the word? Let me ask you. Here's a trivia question for you guys, if you guys have been following spring football. What was the number one word that Ryan Grubb said when they asked about his play style? Aggressive. Look, it's one scrimmage, but I think this is a tone setter, and I think that the Alabama offense is going to take leaps and bounds. Think about it. We're in March 27th. A lot of things can change, but already I think that Ryan Grubb is making his mark. And how about this? Let's give some notoriety and some publicity to Ty Simpson. I didn't hear that any other quarterbacks threw touchdowns today. Again, it's a scrimmage. Coach Kalen DeBoer, I'm going to show his clip in just a minute, courtesy of the University of Alabama. I didn't hear that any other quarterbacks threw a touchdown today. I didn't hear how the quarterbacks did, but Ty Simpson lit it up today. Did everything that you wanted to do and wanted to see from a quarterback that, as I said earlier in the week, if Alabama was going to play a game against Florida State, he's going to be the starter. The way that I have it right now, I have Ty Simpson, Austin Mack, and then I have Keelan Russell. It's March 27th. Here's what Coach Kalen DeBoer said following the scrimmage about his quarterbacks. That is courtesy of the University of Alabama.
Yeah, I thought today, as far as just accuracy, there was maybe two balls. One was really short pass that you really want to see completed, and then one that was an opportunity for an explosive play that we missed. Otherwise, I thought I just probably guessed that we were somewhere in the where you want to be percentage-wise. I don't know, 60, 65%, between the three of them. And so all of them getting their opportunities to lead with the different groups, ones, twos in particular. So I thought they handled the checks and the things as far as managing the game. That's a lot of it. And then, going out there and making plays. So I feel like they were more comfortable today. And I think a lot of it is you put in a specific set of calls that they feel good with, so you can have a successful scrimmage, and I think the offensive staff did that for them.
Are you at all starting to see separation at that position?
I think it's pretty consistent from where it was from the beginning. So, they all bring something a little bit different to the table, even though it's not like maybe, a runner, and then a passer. It's guys doing their thing and what their strengths are. Catchable balls and things like that they do really well. Making maybe field throws. One guy does that a little bit more. One does a little better job of scrambling. So I think they're all learning from each other, though, and taking something from each other's game and applying it to theirs and seeing that, there's always a way to make this play happen or that play happen. I thought they did a good job keeping their eyes downfield and hit some explosives and kept the chains moving on some third and fourth downs that were critical. And that shows, good composure. So.
Alabama basketball plays later today. Check back later for more coverage on that. But getting back to Ty Simpson and Isaiah Horton, what they did today at the scrimmage. And we don't have all the full nuggets. Once we get a detailed scoop, we'll come back on Friday morning at 10 a.m. and discuss that. But I think this is positive. And I think when you're looking at the quarterback battle, look, now, while Coach Kalen DeBoer didn't say necessarily anything about an individual quarterback, I don't think that let me rephrase that. I don't feel that there's going to be a starter necessarily named at the end of spring football because of this transfer portal window. But look, I think if a quarterback took a step forward today, like a major step forward, I think it was Ty Simpson. And that's okay. We want Ty Simpson to be good. I've said this many times on my show, many times on right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Think about this. Would you rather have one good quarterback and 2 average quarterbacks, or would you rather have 3 really good quarterbacks? Alabama is in a fantastic position from the quarterback standpoint. They only have 3 quarterbacks right now on its roster, right? And those guys are working with Ryan Grubb. They're working with Nick Sheridan, who's now been moved to quarterbacks, and with Coach Kalen DeBoer. It's not surprising to hear that Ty Simpson did really well today. He's a redshirt junior. This guy has been here. His pops is a head football coach at UT Martin, and he's making plays. Now, I think this is, along with Ty Simpson, the play of Isaiah Horton, I think, is also very noteworthy because, look, this guy came in to be that guy. For those out there wondering, how good is Isaiah Horton going to be? How is he going to fit in? Blah, blah, blah. Look, Isaiah Horton's here to be a starter 1,000,000%. He didn't leave from Miami where he was going to be a starter. He came over here to absolutely eat. That is great news for Alabama. And you look to their wide receiving unit. Coach Kalen DeBoer in his press conference talked about the wide receivers even making a step forward, right? So you have Isaiah Horton, you have Ryan Williams, and you have Jeremy Bernard. Those guys are going to absolutely eat. I honestly feel that this is the right outs back. Now, who's going to be that number 4, number 5, even number 6 wide receiver? I don't know. And I'm curious to see how they utilize Jalen Mbakwe. Didn't hear much about, any other wide receivers just yet. But again, we'll go through everything and we'll come back on Friday. But I'm curious to see him, Rico Scott, Cole Adams, a healthy Jalen Hell. And how healthy is he going to be? Is he going to be 100% Jalen Hell? How are you going to keep him off the field? So this is a good problem to have at the wide receiver position. Coach Kalen DeBoer talked about the offensive line, said that the offensive line today played really well. I think that was noteworthy. And then I think on the defensive side, there's some younger guys that we're hearing about. We're still digging into a couple different things. But I'm curious, and I'm sure you are too, when talking about the defense, who's going to be that dog right now during the springtime? Because Deontay Lawson, he's out with the injury. And who's going to step up? You have the transfer in from Colorado, right, at linebacker. Justin Jefferson, I think he's limited. So look for maybe like a QB Reese, maybe a Caden Jones, maybe a young guy like Abdul Sanders. You can look at some of the defensive backs and some of the position battles that are having back there, like Dejon Lee. How did he do? Zabian Brown, Bray Hubbard. It's really exciting to think about the secondary going against Alabama's elite wide receivers. So big update today with Ty Simpson absolutely cooking. That's what we heard. Heard he was absolutely balling out. I don't know how many touchdowns that he threw in total, but I know that he went to Isaiah Horton. Big news. How do you feel about Alabama and their overall offense right now compared to last year? Take a minute and think about that. Compared to 2024 to 2025, I think Alabama is in so much of a better place at the quarterback position, at the wide receiver position, now that you have a little bit more experience, and specifically because Ryan Grubb. I appreciate you guys being here. If you guys would drop me a thumbs up on this video, get inside the comment box. I'll catch up with you soon right here on Bama Football on YouTube.